Russia and Ukraine's conflict had a significant military, economic, socio-cultural, political, and diplomatic influence on the world. With Russia's presence in Eastern Europe, it had become clear that the region needed to be ready for various scenarios. For centuries, the worst moments of the Second World War and the Cold War were always experienced in this region. The Ukraine war has demonstrated this. These wars have always been centered on Russia. So what's going on with these neighboring countries? Well, let's get into it right now. War in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, was adamant at the start of this year that he would invade Ukraine and overthrow the European bloc once more, upending the 30-year-old global order. Putin decided to alter everything, but his war in Ukraine did not go as planned since he wanted to advance quickly to invade Ukraine and fulfill the Soviet goal. There were rumors that in 3 days, Putin would end Kiev and then get ready to attack the former Soviet states through Poland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Romania. Although Poland is still concerned about this, Vladimir Putin's fantasy has already been dashed because Poland was where the war between the two nations could spread the fastest. Because Russia fired missiles towards Lviv, which is on the Polish border, these worries were not unfounded through the conflict. The Russian army has been severely defeated in ground operations in Ukraine, and it is threatening to launch missiles across the whole Ukrainian and European borders, including the Polish border. Poland started to exert pressure on NATO to increase Ukraine's air defense to a considerably higher level to safeguard its borders as a result. This week, significant progress has been made regarding this, and Poland has taken somewhat drastic action on the border with Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine. Poland specifically upgraded the Ukrainian and the Russian Kaliningrad border with highly effective infantry, air defense, and the most cutting-edge tanks in the world. Poland has requested to deploy Patriot air defense systems along the Polish-Ukraine border from Berlin. After more Russian missile attacks, Polish Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Defense Mariusz Błaszczak said, "I turned to the German side with a request for the Patriot batteries submitted to Poland to be transferred to Ukraine and deployed on the western border. This will prevent Ukraine from further casualties and power outages and increase security on our eastern border." While this is a significant development, German Defense Minister Christine Lambrecht pledged a few days ago that Germany would deploy a Patriot air defense system in Poland near the Ukrainian border. Despite this, the Patriot stationed on Ukrainian soil would have the potential to impact the region significantly. With NASAMS, Patriots would exhibit diverse traits that might provide Ukraine significant advantages against Russian strikes. Patriot, an anti-aircraft missile that can be employed against both aircraft and tactical ballistic missiles, had a minimal impact during the Gulf War on Iraq's Scud missiles. It's a fully guided missile fired from a moving or stationary ramp. The United States utilized Patriot and Hawk missiles batteries in the Gulf War to defend critical industrial hubs, ports, settlements, and other crucial places in Turkey, Israel, and Saudi Arabia. The Patriot Hawk and E-3 AWACS systems handled the region's defense throughout this conflict. The Patriot firing unit oversees the air defense independently from the other vital components. The system is typically utilized in battalions of 6 divisions under the command of the Information Coordination Center vehicle. It has been reported that the Patriots who were unable to stop the Scud and the Al-Hussein missiles coming from Iraq were able to succeed 80% in Saudi Arabia and 50% in Israel. The Patriots who were placed in the countries around them against potential threats from Iraq during the Gulf War could not be effective, particularly in Israel and Saudi Arabia. It was claimed that the Saudi Arabian and Israeli governments wanted to suppress these success percentages and that the actual rates were 70 in Saudi Arabia and 40 in Israel. Due to their failures in Israel, Russia is hitting Ukraine with missile attacks, most of which target power stations. Ukraine repels most of the missile attacks using its air defense. It is claimed that the Patriots can deal with Shahed efficiently, even though they may fail against kamikaze drones from Iran. Before we move on to the next section, tell us in the comment section your views regarding Putin's move to attack Ukraine. Do subscribe to our channel, War News Today, and enjoy. Ukraine air defense. Ukraine still needs more assistance from the United States and NATO, even though it claims to have destroyed roughly 2/3 or 3/4 of the incoming Russian missiles. The Ukrainians, who experienced such a moment just last week and lost their infrastructure, are demanding more air defense systems from the West. In a significant offensive setback, Russia launched 96 cruise missiles. In response to these oncoming swarms of Russian drones, Ukraine claimed to have shot down 75 of them. Although we cannot confirm the figures, these videos support what we have just heard. However, Ukraine's air defense is meager and focused on key government and military locations, so some missiles will miss if Russia launches dozens of rockets at numerous targets simultaneously across the nation. Russian manned planes are being struck at a very high rate, and Russia has yet to ever send manned planes into Ukrainian airspace over the previous few months. When the war began, Ukraine depended on these ex-Soviet-era weapons known as the S-300, which functioned well. However, it's thought that the Ukrainians' S-300 missiles are running low, and new ammunition is hard to get by. The world must assist Ukraine in any possible way since it lacks the firepower necessary to defend itself entirely from the attacks. One of the most significant lately developed by the US and NATO is a system known as the NASAMS that contacts dozens of targets and is used to safeguard the White House. This system has been proven to be very effective. In addition, new methods are coming from Sweden and Germany, and just last weekend, Great Britain offered some anti-aircraft guns for use against the drones. There have also been talks about providing Patriot missile defense systems made in the United States, which are among the best in the world and are widely used by Western nations. However, whether any government would be willing to lend Ukraine a Patriot system is unknown. A substantial portion of the discussions at the most recent conference with nearly 50 countries centered on how they could provide the ideal combination of air defense systems as Ukraine fights to maintain its air defense capabilities, which have become crucial to its future success. Many of the support-giving contact group nations allegedly pledged more air defense missiles and systems, and a plan to bolster the air defense by spring is reportedly in the works. Another concern is what the Russians said about gaining air superiority, meaning the freedom to fly anywhere and attack targets over Ukraine's skies. Because of these air defenses, they still don't have that capability, and at the beginning of the war, Russia lost several hundred aircraft flying over Ukraine. Now they fly safely from Ukraine over Belarus, over the Black Sea, or the Russian mainland. Germany's response. Currently, Ukraine is locked in the cycle of destroying power plants in the region. A Russian attack disables the force, Ukraine repairs this quickly and usually restores power in less than 24 hours, but every time this happens, there is a reduction in Ukraine's total capacity. So right now, those who live in Kiev or other cities can expect a scheduled power outage usually up to 4 hours a day. But energy companies warn that this could take days. Consequently, strengthening Ukraine's air defense will provide Kiev with significant advantages in its fight against Russia's current sole form of warfare. Since Russia's extensive invasion of Ukraine began, European Union members, particularly in Eastern Europe, have criticized Germany for being overly cautious. They specifically criticized the German government for dragging its feet on arms supplies. However, as these criticisms mount due to Germany's reluctance to support the Patriots publicly, Germany appears to be reversing. In the fight against Russian forces, Berlin sent some weapons, such as self-propelled howitzers and numerous rocket launchers, and the German government has been vocal about sanctions against Russia. As a result, the lucrative Nord Stream 2 pipeline project, which brought Russian gas to the nation, was abandoned. Even before the Russian invasion began, there were signs that German society was wary of the Ukrainian war. An October poll shows that 40% of Germans believed in the whole or part that NATO provoked Russia to invade Ukraine. That number rises to 59% in states once part of communist East Germany. Putin's greatest hope is to continue the war that has wreaked havoc and caused great human suffering in Ukraine while awaiting a change in the White House within 2 years. And that will conclude our video for today. We hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to War News Today for videos and click on the bell icon to get notifications for more informative videos. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on this video, and thank you for watching.